Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello and welcome back to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. I thought we'd do another sunset scene in this series, and I've stretched the paper and I'm just leaving a thin film of water on it, just like that really. Removing the excess water from around the edges so there's no run backs. And I just want to dry the area off where the sea is, and we'll get straight in now. A little cadmium orange, just bring it all the way across. You can even bring it into the land here where the palm trees are, then into that just a little cadmium yellow light, just bring this up a little way, just a touch of crimson. This will act as a barrier when we put the blue on it. Bring them together. I've got the board laying flat at the moment, so make it darker in this side here. Into that now. This is turquoise and cobalt blue. Taking this all the way up to the top. Lifting a little paint off where the palm trees are, as I want the tops of these to stand out. This is indigo with just a touch of crimson. I want to just darken the top of this sky. I want it dark around the right hand side because the way that the painting is balanced or weighted, it's weighted to the left hand side with these palm trees, as you can see, and all we have in the background here is a couple of background hills or headlands, so we need to just balance this out to make this side have a little more interest in it. So I'm just going to pull this indigo in. Don't be frightened of getting plenty of colour on. And if you wait till the end of the video, you will see this painting in a frame, which makes all the difference. This is a painting that anybody can do. Making the sky a little interesting around here. Pulling some very gently in. Darkening this once again, just adding more paint. This is indigo burnt umber with a touch of alizarin crimson, just for the real darks. Just want to bring a little bit of depth to this corner, just a tiny bit here, just to indicate maybe there's some cloud coming over. And that's really all I want to do with the sky, so we're now going to leave that to dry. Now that the sky's dried off, and as you can see it's paled quite somewhat from the first initial washes, so that's why sometimes you need to use a really good strength of colour. I'm going to paint the sea. I've re-wet the bottom 2/3 of the sea just with some clean water just to keep it damp, and then with a dry brush I'm just going to try to bring some sparkle across the top here, just by dragging a brush across that has cadmium orange on it. And into that some of the cadmium yellow light. Same thing, just take some of the excess off. As you can see, the brush has a hit and miss effect, and I just want a little bit of this crimson, just a bit, not much, to take the excess off, and I'll just bring it in here. Turquoise and cobalt blue. All the way to the bottom. Bringing some up here. You can get plenty on down here. As you already know, it's going to dry lighter. This is the indigo. And I might just make that a little darker. So this is just neat indigo that I'm getting off the palette. And then with just a touch of the indigo, burnt umber and alizarin crimson, just going to darken this corner. Bring it slightly all the way across. Just darken this edge. And taking a damp brush, I'm just going to soften this. The board is still laying flat. Now we can come to this very far away background headland, and this is the indigo, burnt umber and alizarin crimson. And I'm just adding water to this just to make this very pale. Then with some clean water once again, I'm just going to re-wet the nearer hill, the headland, the indigo, burnt umber with a bit of alizarin crimson, and we're just going to put this in stronger here. When you put a headland in, always try to bring where the headland comes out of the picture, is to bring it up. Don't bring it down, otherwise it can actually lead your eye out of the painting, which is something you don't want. And I do want to bring it into the sea for some reflections. But I want to leave a sparkled area here just to brighten it up. And now we have to leave that to dry off, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this area here. Okay, now your picture's dried off to, it's still damp, so we can start to put the palm trees in. And this is a stronger mixture of the indigo and burnt umber with the crimson added. This is a Monday mop brush, and I've just dipped the tips in, and we're going to put the leaves in. And with it being a goat hair, you can see it makes really good palm leaves, palm fronds. Fronds, I think they're called. So I'm just going to keep going like this. And as you can see, where I've actually lightened the sky, where I took some paint out with the brush, you can see how these palm fronds and palm leaves stand out. That's enough. I think that will do. Tree trunks then, using a rigger. Soften off the bottoms where the roots are, bring it into there. And with the same mixture of indigo and burnt umber, I've just added the turquoise, and sorry, I've just added a little bit more indigo to it just to blue it off a little bit more. I think we'll put a few ripples in, or a few waves. We're just going to soften the bottoms off. So you're just leaving the hard edge on the top. And I don't mind if it disturbs the paint underneath at this moment in time, it just helps to add a little bit more movement. And this once again has to dry. Now that this is dry, what we're going to do now is just going to re-wet this area here with some clean water once again. Allow the palm trees at the bottom to drift and fuzz. Indigo burnt umber with a touch of alizarin crimson, but it's slightly weaker than the actual palm tree mixture. It's more on the brownish side than it is on the black side, or the very, very dark. And we're just going to feed this in. Just painting the land. Rock sticking out there. And with the darker mixture, just going to feed that in areas, especially under the palm trees, creating shadow. I'm just going to flick some grasses up using the rigger brush, and I'm pulling the dark into the light to make it stand out. I don't want them everywhere because I don't want them to be a distraction. With a damp brush, what we're going to do now is just lift some paint out over where the sun just might catch it on these rocks here. Maybe we can pull a little out of the top of this hill, and not only that, it helps to break up a solid mass of colour where sometimes you don't, it stops it from drying flat and looking flat. I think we can put a couple of birds in. I don't want them in the middle of the picture, so I want to bring them here. I don't want them in line. This is whitewash, and I'm just going to add some to the top of these waves just to bring some light back. I'm using this right from the tube, if you can see. And you use this very sparingly. I think that's all I want to put on for the moment. And then we're going to leave this to completely dry, and then we're going to put the reflections in of this part of an island or this landmass here into the sea off. Okay, I'm with some clean water. I'm just going to wet these areas where I want there to be a reflection. And I'm leaving a little gap between where the land starts and the reflection begins, so you get just a little bit of separation. Darker mixture once again of the indigo and burnt umber. You can just drop this in. The board is laying flat. Bring it all the way across, being careful not to touch the landmass area. I just want a very, very faint line. Soften off this edge with a damp brush, and I would like to just bring a reflection of a palm tree trunk here. If you're enjoying these videos, please click the like button and please subscribe. You are welcome. I will leave a link in the description box to other watercolour painting videos I have made, and that will take you straight to them. And if you've managed to watch this to the end, you will see this in a mount on a frame very shortly. But now you get to the best bit. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.